It's time to get it out to Mark Jones, Monica McNutt, the analyst, and Katie George. Katie George on the call. We'll see you in a few.
Katie George, Monica, what up, crew?
Well, the gusting winds across the Oklahoma Plains carrying an air of optimism with them this year for the NBA's second youngest team, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the OKC Thunder. Gilgeous-Alexander remains one of the league's most implacable, unassailable scorers. You'll see him tonight as we welcome you to NBA courtside in a rematch of last year's NBA play-in tournament game. The number 9 against 10 seed OKC against the New Orleans Pelicans. Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Jones alongside Monica McNutt. Katie George joining us in just a moment. Monica, we have two of the most unique players in the entire NBA tonight. We'll start with OKC. These fans waited over a year to watch Chet Holmgren, and so far, in a very small sample of games, he's checked all the boxes they wanted him to.
He has fulfilled the promise, so to speak, Jonesy. When you look at what he's been able to do, not just scoring the basketball, where he's averaging 15 points in this young season, but defensively, he's been able to alter shots, averaging almost 3 blocks a game so far this season. Now, mind you, those blocks aren't only in the paint. He's also been able to get outside the paint and affect some jump shooters as well.
He's already become the first player to amass 10 threes and 10 blocks in the first 4 games in NBA history. Let's switch gears, talk about Zion Williamson. Had to be shut down last year in early January. Didn't play for the rest of the season because of a hamstring injury, but he remains a behemoth at both ends of the floor. It's going to be fun to watch him tonight.
Our terrific team that provides us with our great notes and information used 2 words when it came to Zion: dominance and availability. Well, baby, he's been dominant in the availability so far. Look at this, Jonesy. Teams are often kind of sagging off of him. They want to keep him out of the paint. So you're seeing the wall-esque defense that Giannis once saw. But that distance just becomes a runway as he explodes with all of that power and force and manages to split 2 defenders. Here, if you meet him at the three-point line, he can finish with contact and explode off of the bounce. He is undeterred in what could have easily been an and-one opportunity. And his timing, Coach Willie Green appreciates the way that he's making reads and making the right decisions. He will go and seek out the contact and still has a great ability to finish at the rim where he's shooting almost 60%.
Yeah, always among league leaders in points in the paint. There's the number so far for Zion, and Katie George has more on the ailing Pelicans. Katie?
Yeah, Mark, unfortunately, Brandon Ingram will not play tonight, missing his 2nd consecutive game due to soreness in that right knee. Now, he was able to go through some on-court activities during shoot-around today, but ultimately the Pelicans decided to hold him out. Willie Green told us that the hope is for him to play tomorrow night against Detroit. Now, earlier this week, Green said Ingram and Zion Williamson are the best duo in the NBA. Could be, guys, but we need a larger sample size. Since Green took over in July of 2021, Ingram and Williamson have only played 14 games together. For this team to make the playoffs in a loaded Western Conference, the health of both of these guys is going to be crucial, Mark.
And it's going to be difficult to replace the 22 points a game that Brandon Ingram brings to the court every night. Scoring not a problem for SGA. He'll be on the JOB tonight as we get a reprise, a remix of OKC against New Orleans. Studio, and then the tip after that.
Don't sweat the technique.
Never sweat the technique.
Both these teams have high expectations for this season.
2 squads with poise and potential, coming in with something to prove. Zion's force has been on full display for the Pelicans.
Clear path. Look out!
Every year I'm going bigger, doing greater.
On the flip side, a core of confident young Thunder are ready to rumble. The magician, SGA, still in his bag.
24, still got room to grow, still got plans and goals.
And the long-awaited arrival of Chet Holmgren.
And the love for Holmgren.
That was nasty.
OKC is here. Cool, calm, connected. It's time to lock in as the ride begins.
Don't sweat the technique. Never sweat the technique. Don't sweat the technique.
New Orleans Pelicans against the OKC Thunder. Paycom Center in Oklahoma City, the backdrop for this game tonight. As we welcome you to NBA Wednesday, presented by State Farm. These two teams split the season series last year, each team winning 2 games, and then of course the ultimate meeting in the play-in tournament game, the 9-10 game, won by OKC. As we take a look at tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by the U.S. Air Force. For the visitors tonight, C.J. McCollum healthy, starting at point. Jordan Hawkins getting the start in place of Brandon Ingram. Herbert Jones, Zion Williamson, and Jonas Valanciunas on the front line for New Orleans. Meanwhile, for OKC, Chet Holmgren at the 5, Jalen Williams, a.k.a. J-Dub, on the front line with Lou Dort, Josh Giddey, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. First team All-NBA a season ago in the backcourt. Alexander coming off a big game a couple of nights ago in their home win against Detroit. He had 32. Meanwhile, the Pelicans are coming off a loss against Golden State. Steph Curry lit them up for 42 back in the Crescent City. We'll do it all over again. Courtney Kirkland, Eric Allen, and Brandon Ingram are officials tonight.